India and Morocco share a close relationship, and there has been a firming up of the relationship in several sectors. With me is Morocco's ambassador to India to talk about the relationship. He is one of the longest serving ambassadors here in Delhi and also the dean when it comes to the African ambassadors, the Arab ambassadors. So he has essentially seen India in many ways, a living history book to describe him. So welcome to WION. It's great to have you in our office. My first question to you is about the India-Morocco relationship. How do you see this relationship? How has the relationship grown over last several years?
First of all, thank you, Sidhant, for inviting me. This is the first time I'm invited this lovely studio. All the other things and the meetings, the interviews we had been in my office. I'm thrilled to be here. First thing, you presented me a little bit more than I deserve. Yes, I've been serving here for a long time. Yes, I have seen India. Yes, I'm enjoying, of course, my stay. I probably was not prepared for such a long time. But in the meantime, I'm quite happy to be here because there are so many things happening, positive things happening in India. And probably it's the right time to be here. That is said, our relations haven't been left aside. I think we have seen a tremendous development. It started, in fact, since the first visit to His Majesty in 2001, where Morocco decided to accompany India for its food security. And from that time on, things were moving quite in the right direction. But they were much more concentrated and focused on fertilizers from our side. Then came the second visits, and then I'm quite happy to say that in every visit we make a very big step. So the second visit was in 2015, and the meeting, a historical one I would say, because I was there, I was present in that summit, the third India-Africa summit. The two leaders had a very constructive meeting, and then they decided that it was time to elevate the relations into a strategic partnership. So from that time on, we were working on the content. So because Indians also like numbers, it's easier to convey what I want in numbers. In 2000, we had fairly $300 million exchanges. In 2015, by the visit of His Majesty, we were at $1.1 billion exchanges from one side, but still it was much more on the side of fertilizers from our side. But since 2000, almost 2021, we have an average annual of $2.2 billion to reach by 2023 a record high 4.2 billion. Then it came down to 3, but we expect this year, I think, to break another record. All this has been possible. Why? Because there has been a tremendous work in the reinforcement of and strengthening of the legal framework. We have signed not less than 50 agreements since 2015. And then if you include the 2 years where everything was at still and stop at the COVID, so I think that is a very good number. In terms also of presence of the Indian companies, and that's exactly where you would be interested. In 2015, there were 12 to 13 Indian companies in Morocco. Now we crossed 45. We crossed 45 not because people just decided to go one day, but because of first of all, the political will from the highest level on both sides. Secondly, because the environment of investment in Morocco is very competitive, is also very friendly. And I think the last but not the least, the Tata there, and then everywhere in the world, Tata is known for its transparency, for its clean work. So these things are quite important.
How can Morocco be a gateway for Indian investors, Indian businesses into the wider African region? What are the benefits of going via Morocco?
Okay, so when I reached here in December 2016, and I presented in February 2017, I used to say to my Indian friends a narrative, okay, by which you will benefit a lot if you go to Africa. So I could see in their eyes, oh, he is another ambassador who is speaking about his country, it's normal, but he will end up by giving up. After a few years, I think time has given me or has proven me to be right, because Morocco has a lot of advantages apart from its geostrategic position. So now it's becoming more important whenever there is a war going on. So the Strait of Gibraltar is one of the most dynamic and then also most important straits that exist in the world for the trade and for commerce and for the security. So Morocco has more than 50 FTA, free trade agreements, including with the United States. So when the new tariffs have been imposed on many countries, Morocco is becoming a very good alternative for companies and Indians or whatever or elsewhere to invest and from their export. So it has become like either a platform for production, and worldwide we are known as a country of genius people. We create things, we invent things, but also we make things happen. To tell you just a simple example, 14 years back, I think 2008, 2010, when we started the port of Tangiers in Morocco, for instance. Now it's become among the top ones in the world, with more than 9 million containers treatment capacity. It's not a small number. Even the big countries don't have this number. While the big ports worldwide are mirrored by centuries. So this one has, at the span of 12 years, become one of the leading ones. In fact, in terms of efficiency, it's on the top 5 worldwide. So Morocco could be used, as I used to tell people, as, let's give a very strange example. It's like a woman's womb. You can create your product, you can use it, but still the mother will not be benefiting from, except if you want to export to Morocco itself, then you will have to pay the duties. But the facilities which are given are tremendous. We have a new charter of investments, and then in strategic sectors, what we call the world jobs of Morocco, you can benefit up to 30% cash back. When I say cash back, means above $1 million of investments, if it is in a strategic domain that we would like, then you can benefit a lot getting 20, 25, or 30% according to strategic. So it's, for the investor, it means that he is getting back more than 5%, 20% of his investments. That's a very good advantage. The second advantage, you have access to 54 countries with zero taxes if you produce partly in Morocco. That's where the Indians also were encouraged. The third element, which is quite important, with the coming new free trade zone in Africa, then you'll have another 43 access, more countries, including Morocco, it makes 24 the number of the African countries, members of the UN. This is a large number of markets you can access. But above all, I think that the skillful people is what makes Morocco unique. Because you see, there has been a change worldwide in terms of investments. People used to look for lower wages, lower salaries, because they can get back their money. But now they are looking for skillful people. And that's one exactly. So to come back to what I said, in 14 years, we've moved from zero export in car industry this year, I think we overpassed $15 billion exports, the largest exporter outside Europe.
One of the areas that is up and coming is the defense cooperation between India and Morocco. We saw the Indian defense minister also visiting Morocco, which was a very significant visit, covered widely as well. So perhaps if you can talk about the defense cooperation between the two countries.
I think we should see these investments are a crowning of a process. You invest in certain sectors, doesn't come between one night and the other day. And for me, investments and then production of defense is the highest level of trust that countries can have. And then the satisfaction side for me is that we have reached a level, though we don't have this document which stipulates that we have a partnership, strategic partnership. But in de facto, our relations have become strategic in terms of counterterrorism, in terms of defense, and all the other things. So Tata has given a very good message, not only to Indian investors in defense, but also worldwide. It has also proved that Morocco is a very healthy environment for investment. But defense also is, you see, both India and Morocco had to make this project successful. For the Indian side, it gave them confidence that they can produce outside as made in India for the world in somewhere else. So that project needed to work. It gives a larger outreach, but also a larger posture of India worldwide in terms of defense. And then what's happening in the West Asia has shown that the defense sovereignty is of paramount importance. Because you need to be skillful, but also you need to defend yourself by yourself. Otherwise, it will be difficult. For Morocco, it was quite important because it was one of the largest defense products, and then it should be able to give a very positive image for the other investors to come. And that's exactly what happened after this event. And then when people knew it's worldwide, the sector of defense, people have started to ask us or to want to go to Morocco and invest in this sector. So the visit of the minister was a culminating moment and an important milestone. It came a few years after our Minister of Defense, the minister in charge of administration of defense in Morocco. And then he went there as a good image. They signed an MOU in cooperation, which means that we are opening a larger scale. It also came after we opened the wing of the defense attaché in India in 2022. And then very soon we will have also the defense wing of India in Rabat. So it means that the two countries have decided to go strategic and then to deepen their relations in sectors as sensitive as defense.
But perhaps India-Morocco relationship is known for one simple thing, that is phosphate. Yes. How did this story start? I mean, how big is Morocco in terms of a producer of phosphate? And what's the advantages of India buying phosphate, which is used in fertilizers? Now, fertilizer is a very key component. We have seen global conflicts and fertilizer is in demand. So how can Morocco help to send a message to India that in future, as the West Asia goes through much worse times, the continuity of phosphate fertilizers will continue?
Well, maybe it's important to take you back a little bit in history. Not history, it's only in 2021. Literally 2001. So in terms of the importance of phosphates in Morocco worldwide, so we have the largest reserve worldwide. I think up to 72% of world reserve of phosphates exists in Morocco. So in terms of numbers, people say that if no country uses fertilizers or phosphates worldwide, Morocco can suffice the world for more than 400 years. The commodity is, of course, the food security is one of the key areas which are becoming much more important. It became even more important after COVID, where the most serious countries affected were much more affected not by the virus itself, but because of their inability to produce. And then we should feed the world. So in the visit of His Majesty in 2001, it was a big political decision. And then the governments were instructed to ensure that India would reach its food security by the help of Morocco. So it was a political decision. It was not based on a commercial trade. It is I buy and you sell. No, it's much more than that. The second thing, if there is any, the largest investments, public investments of Morocco in the whole of Asia exists in India. And then it concerns few of the joint ventures in fertilizers. We are also thinking of enlarging this investment, but also in some of the pharmaceutical sectors. I was surprised a few years back to know that some of the Moroccan investors also are investing in the pharmaceutical and then sector in India. So there are MOUs which regulates our relations with India, and I think we export not less than $2 billion to India, and then there is a complete awareness of the continuity of these things. So we are the largest exporter worldwide, but we are the third producer worldwide. But I think with the new infrastructure that we are building, we should be number one very soon, if we have not already reached number one.
Moving on to a sector that is growing, that's the tourism sector. We all have seen the movie Casablanca. We've seen visuals of Morocco. How has been the tourism industry cooperation between India and Morocco grown? How an Indian tourist can go to Morocco, if you can perhaps highlight, and what are the advantages of going to Morocco?
I think the movie Casablanca is old enough to create that interest now, but it is still in the minds of people because it was like a window through which they have seen Morocco. Tourism in Morocco is a big industry. It also contributes a lot in terms of GDP. But we are good hosts by nature. Moroccans, maybe also like Indians. We know how to receive people. We don't make the other one as a foreigner in our country, not because we want to show him, but because we are structured like that. Morocco has been in a crossroads civilization, getting a lot of travelers from the south of Africa, from the Arab
Ibn
world.
Battuta.
And Ibn Battuta was a great traveler, and then he has shown he was as much giving as receiving from his travels. But then Morocco offers a lot of advantages in terms of sceneries. But also it is a place for visits for families, for individuals, for couples, for whatever perspective you need in your tourism, you will get it. From the seaside, we have 3,500 seaside beaches. More than 40 of our beaches are labeled blue. The UN, that is the highest safety in terms of water cleanness. And then in every city, this is very strange when people know it, in every city that is in the coastal in Morocco, they have a beach.
Okay.
So imagine that all your cities, including Mumbai, would have a beach for people to swim. So that's exactly the case in Morocco. Second is also accommodates not only people who wants to go for the beach, but also accommodates people who would like to ski. We have the highest mountain in all Africa is the Atlas, which is worldwide known for geography. It's based in Morocco. Then the third thing is also a very good infrastructure. We have been elected as number one infrastructure in all Africa. In terms of roads, also the capacity of the at last, but not the least, we have so many things in common with the Indians. We would like to move with the family. We would like to enjoy our food, our spices. And so people, in fact, I was surprised that people, when they were homesick, Indians living in the US, in Canada, they would go for the weekend.
Okay.
And this is a very good anecdote that happened when I was with Mr. Tata, late Tata in Morocco. We were sitting in one of the hotels, Four Seasons in Casablanca, and then it was a little bit chilly at January afternoon. So we're sitting around a fire chimney, which is outside, and it gives way to the beach. So one couple came, and then they were literally surprised to find him there. She said, "What are you doing here?" Then I came to Morocco the first time. I said, "Oh, you've missed a lot, but we were happy to see you here in this country." Say, "Yes, I'm trying to see all these possibilities." So he asked them, "And what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, see, I come almost every 2 to 3 months from UK. Whenever I want to have good food, to enjoy myself with the family, we come together." Okay. So they took a photograph. Then another 3 people or other 3 or 4 people came again. They were the same story. So I think that the Indians find a lot of things in Morocco. Okay. Now we are getting also into a new trend of marriages, weddings in Morocco, because we have a special way of making weddings, and then all the big people of the world want to have their marriage either in Marrakesh or in some other city in Morocco. So there are a lot to discover. We also helped this trend. In fact, one of the largest growth of tourist visitors for Morocco are Indian markets. And then it was possible because of the e-visa. Okay. India is one of the rarest countries we have for which Morocco opened e-visa without any conditions. It's only the passport of the Indian giving access or her to the e-visa. So people now are easily getting their visas while they are in Tamil Nadu or they are in the extreme north. It helps a lot. And even if they go for a trip to Europe or to the Middle East and they have a gap of 3 or 4 days, it's easy for them to get the visa and then just cross the other side. So it's very important, I think, the people-to-people relations.
Interesting, sir. Now, coming to a certain personal aspect, your book, which I have managed to go through in a lot of bits and pieces and a lot of excerpts as well. But what would you like the reader of this book to take away with him or herself after reading this book? This book, it has your diplomatic journey, your personal anecdotes, which I liked a lot. I won't quote many of them, but yeah, I loved those quotes as well. But generally, what will be the key big thing which you think that one should carry home after reading this book?
That's a very large question that you're mentioning. First of all, I was cornered to write the book. I mentioned it even in my book. So
yes, I know.
It was never my idea.
Yeah.
The second thing, I thought it was COVID time gave me a little bit of more space for making this effort. I don't want to go into details how I started to work because it's in the book, so I'm inviting people to read it. Yeah. But it is meant for a large audience, readers. It's for the young diplomats, for the elder one, but also for sharing of experience. I have gone through things. It's not, by the way, an autobiography. It's a non-conformist, I call it non-conformist autobiography. Every story has a lesson to give, either a lesson of morality or a life lesson or values. And I think we are losing a lot of values. And Morocco has a lot of values which I want to share with people. So it's like a call. It's like a call for the readers to go back to the roots. And then the roots for all of us are very simple. Healthy food. Like people, love people the way you want them to love you. To convey the values to your children. Tell them the importance is the value of the thing, not the price of the thing. Unfortunately now, I'll give you a simple example. Most of these children would like to have a branded shoe, even if he is or she is uncomfortable inside the shoe, but because they see themselves through the projection of the others. I want to, through the book, to tell people, be yourself, and then enjoy your life because it's very short. So we think that 50 years is very far. It's not very far. Yeah. It comes very quickly. And then in 50 you see, oh, I'm still very far. It's not very far. So whenever you find the possibility of enjoying yourself or something that makes you happy, try to make it as long as possible. The other side there is a chapter which I called essential and important things in our lives. So I believe that is a philosophy of life. We mix between what is important for us and what is essential for us. What is important is not necessarily essential, but what is essential is very important. So that's another message I want to go. Then I want to show the centrality of the family in our lives. How important our family is, it's one of the essential things. And then how the parents are very important to us, and then how we should treat them, how we should, you see, if you go through the book, I mentioned only 2 thrillers, which happened to me. All these stories are authentic stories that happened to me. But those thrillers have changed tremendously my life. They also showed me that material things vanish, but value things remain with you, and then that's what people remain with you.
And very briefly, how did India brought about this idea? I mean, I know it was your COVID time, but India influenced your writing, and also Ratan Tata. You've extensively talked about him, and there's a piece, the foreword, which is written by him as well. So how has Ratan Tata influenced the writing?
So I personally invite people to read that chapter because friendship, my relation with Mr. late Tata, very respected person, some people call him semi-god, was not based at all on business. It was based on friendship. He used to call me, "You are a true friend." So when you reach with this kind of people who make the world, means that's probably you are in the right path. Because friendship is something which distinguishes or differentiates so many people from others. So to tell a small, briefly, less than 1 minute. So when I wrote the chapter about him, it's called A Uniquely Built Friendship. So I was having after lunch with him in Taj, in Mumbai. I used to read few of the things in the book to him. And he was a little bit tired, but I felt he was emotionally much affected by somebody writing about him. So I felt that he was becoming really very sensitive. I stopped. I told him, he told me, "Why did you stop?" I told him, "Sir, I don't want to make it." No, don't stop. Go on. Go ahead. So when I read the chapter, I see, do you validate? Because I didn't go into details. I just read largely what makes. And then this chapter is also the answer of so many people. They would ask me, how did you manage to get good relations with Mr. Tata, where people fail to have with him? So it was like a duty to tell them that it doesn't necessarily, sometimes chemistry just works without even looking into it. So I told him, do you want to be part of this book? He told me, of course. Do you authorize me to publish this chapter? He said, of course I do. Then what do you think of a forward from you? I said, it's done. So it was immediately accepted, and then I was so happy that he was part of it, of my book. I think it was one of the last probably things he wrote in his life.
Correct, sir. I mean, it's a deeply emotional book as well. And of course, I'm pretty sure when the book will be obviously launched, had he been living, he would have come to inaugurate it. I'm pretty sure that would have happened. But thank you so much, sir, for coming to our office, having conversation about the India-Morocco ties, but also about your book. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I enjoyed it. I don't see time always run with you. I thought it was take it easy. But I always enjoy your company, and I encourage WION. It's become a very well-established network worldwide. I have seen it in the last 9 years. It has become the face of India.
Thank you so much,
At the beginning, it was not, by the way. And it's, for me, it's a very big step. And then I wish you and your TV more and more success.
Thank you
once again for having me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.